Recently I discovered you can sail all the way around the earth in Raft. Then someone in the comments said, can you build a raft around the world? So then I thought to myself, I've got nothing better to do with my time. And for a little backstory to understand how this all came about, this all started when I started putting engines on my raft that made it go faster and faster. Because every engine adds a little bit of speed, or you can make any engines add a lot of speed. Then once you turn it on, off your raft goes, and before you know it, you circle the globe. I have no idea how big these distances actually are, but I know they're pretty big. By this point, we've probably circled the globe many times over, but we are also going so fast that literally nothing spawns in. Not garbage in the ocean or islands themselves. Once we start slowing down a little bit, an island spawns in and stops us dead. Now here's why I know I can circle the globe. We're steering in a straight line right now. We're near the blue object on the map. If I turn the engine on, we take off and we'll circle back around to it eventually. It takes us a little while, but it comes back. There's 30,000 meters. I think I might have put the speed too high. Oh, never mind, we're back. We're not circling back around it, so I don't know if I'm hitting a barrier. It worked last time, we'll make this work. Okay, suddenly it's over to our left instead of straight behind us, and we've been steering in a straight line, so that would indicate that it blinked to us or we blinked to it. Either way, we're gonna start building. Okay, the first thing I want to do is build just a little base of operations, which is literally this. Then again, I'm probably gonna need something like this, because I wouldn't want my raft floating around while I'm circling the globe. And I am gonna build in the other direction. For now, I just want to build up a little bit so we can look back and see our progress. I've also given myself 30,000 plastic and wood, and no, I didn't farm those the organic way. Also, this is on peaceful mode, so the shark will not bother me. I will, however, bother it at every chance I get, but I just don't want the shark biting this somewhere along its million length and destroying the whole thing. So now that I, for some reason, created an erection in the sky, let's start building. I do have a few different ideas of how this is gonna go. It's pretty exciting now. In 5 minutes, I'm gonna hate it. In 5 hours, it's not gonna be fun at all. And that's the best part. I don't know how long this is gonna take, because I don't know how big this world is. It's been 30 seconds and I'm still enjoying it, but 30 seconds has only gotten us this far. We can still see the raft, but it's actually kind of in the distance. But now that I'm this far, I do actually realize I probably have a way of measuring distance. So now I get to run all the way back already, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but it's actually pretty far. So I'm going to go ahead and turn up my movement speed for now. That's going to help me navigate. If I very lazily set up the antennas and receiver, I can see that there's an island 1,500 meters in that direction. So pretty soon we'll be beyond that. So we'll just build one of these setups along the way here and there, which is going to be so much fun. For now, I'm just building for now until I get tired of it, and then we're going to check distance. Also pretty worried at some point the game is going to crash and I'm not going to be able to load back in, but that's going to be a little ways away. That's just sort of something for me to stress about in the meantime while I have nothing better to do. There's a new island on the map already. It looks like we're actually going to miss it. But instead of sailing there, we're going to build right to it and then past it. And we've gone not very far at all, and the raft is already long gone. And what's any adventure without a little bit of hydration? Not to mention a little cooked shark. Despite the fact he's not dangerous, we need to establish who's dangerous here. And I already fell in the water once because I accidentally hit shift and forgot how fast I can sprint. So now that I've hilariously built my way all the way to this island, we're going to stop and pillage it for any possible resource that might come in handy for us. Yes, I can spawn in literally anything I want. I just don't want anyone else to have anything. And mangoes hold a very special place in my heart. But already we got a pretty good view of the raft, and we're like not even 1/100th of the way done, 1,000th, who knows? Soak it all in. This is probably the last moment I'll be happy for the entire process. One little antenna setup later, and we're now only 1,200 meters from the island. We are at an angle, but we've clearly gone some ways. So I guess that just means it's back to work. But I think to make this a little quicker at this point, I'm going to turn up my walking speed, which now looks like this. That way I'll build that much quicker, but as the game starts to lag more and more, I'll fall off the end of the raft a lot more also. But just think, somewhere out there beyond the horizon is my raft again. We just need to keep going and going and going. We're already at the point where I could go back and show you how far we've gone, but it's going to take too long. I really don't want to do that yet. I don't want to do that ever, but I'm going to have to just to get the proper scale of this stupid thing. Okay, this is going to be experimental. I've created a macro that makes me walk forward very steadily, and because I also have an auto clicker, naturally I should be able to just let it build itself while I kind of sit here and supervise it. Occasionally I'm going to fall off the end, but so far the raft is going to build itself for a while. It's not going to be super quick, but it is going to be super consistent. That's all I care about. I think the reason it's so slow is because the buttons are being hit so quickly, where the game really is just giving up slowly. But I think I see another island in the distance, so that's exciting. What's also not super exciting is that it's straight in our way. But at least there'll be something exciting here. I mean, they have a flag. I also really don't want to interrupt my path by going around. I want to be able to move in a straight line, so I'm literally going to move in a straight line. We're going to go straight up and over. Yeah, these people need help. They're not the ones building a raft around the world. I just realized I don't remember how to build downwards. But since I've fallen off the raft anyway, what do they have for me over here? Somebody clearly was stuck here. They just didn't have the ingenuity to build a raft and sail themselves around the world. Well, I do have a solution to the problem, but I don't think anyone's gonna love this. Me least of all. But when scientific integrity is involved, we can cut no corners at all. So we're gonna build towards it. I can't tell if I'm missing or not. I think I am. But for a complete guesstimate, that was really good. You gotta give me that. So let's pretend that didn't happen and build back to our perfectly straight path with no problems ever. And connected. Then we just move that little guy and that little guy. There's our straight line again. And I hope I understand how this works. Okay, I don't want any floating pieces anywhere. We're gonna run and jump. I don't know about fall damage. Haven't seen a shark in a while, but he's probably long since given up on me, just like everyone else in my life. Okay, it's also pretty annoying that these don't all just break apart. I don't want any extra clutter in the ocean because I know the game's already really gonna struggle to do what I'm doing. I did also get a captain's hat on the island, so in order to commemorate the guy that died here, I'm gonna let that go in the ocean. I'm sure it was a perfectly nice hat, but we've got better things to do. I'm gonna be really excited if I see the giant erection somewhere in the distance. We're going to keep building straight toward it. Definitely starting to get dark again, but we've definitely gone a long ways. Looking backwards, there's just basically nothing but open ocean and a really long raft. Looking ahead of us, more nothingness. But now we've gone past the island distance-wise, so that's good. We just need to keep going until it disappears and starts ahead of us again. Also, the game is starting to struggle pretty hard to build even simple things. I mean, I can't imagine why. I've been working so hard I started to dehydrate myself. Good thing I brought lots of water so this idiot doesn't have to stop moving for very long ever. And I think 1,000 pieces of shark will give us the protein we need to finish this little project. Or maybe it won't. Or whatever. Back to work. I'm actually really surprised the game is still holding up this well. I've built some big things before, the game didn't love it. For some reason today's going swimmingly. Well, it's a new day and we're still building in a straight line. I don't know why I do this, there's something wrong with me. Okay, this total adventure of ours so far has cost us about 6,000 pieces of wood. The game still feels not bad. When I start building, it gets a little clunky, but it's got a lot of raft to keep an eye on, like a lot of it. But really, if I was smart, I would have started building directly towards an island. That way we'd have a better idea of how far we've gone and how far we have to go. But it's me, so you get what you pay for. Why does my computer sound like a spaceship suddenly? Well, whatever, not to worry. Our raft is out there somewhere, we're gonna find it. So I think here, before the game gets any screwier, we need to do a bit of a distance check. I'm not really sure what's going on with the antennas, but it's really not liking them for some reason. So that's fun. I love when a really hard and stupid idea gets even stupider and harder. Okay, we finally got the antenna situation sorted out. We're long past it, and for some reason we're moving. Okay, I've stopped the movement. The anchor must have lifted somehow. It's back down. We're stationary once again. But since we were drifting anyway, let's raise the anchor again from here, and then we can actually steer ourselves back in line. Okay, this is going to steer very quickly because of how long it is. So we're going to steer slowly until the blue dot is right in the center, which may or may not work from this far out. I don't know if the game really knows what to make of this. We're moving ourselves a lot farther. Now we're 4,000 meters away simply because the raft is so big. I think it turns from its origin point. So way out here, we can actually go this fast, which is kind of funny because we're not modified in any way for this. It's just if you build a raft this long, you can actually move this quick, which actually gives me a lot more fun ideas suddenly in my little brain. But I'm going to see if I can orient myself so that blue dot is directly behind us, so we're going to build forward until we hit it, because that's super logical. I'm going to consider that straight on the money. So the anchor is going down. I've confirmed we've stopped moving. Time to get back to work. The game is very much not happy with us. But we're about 4,000 meters away from the island. We started like 1,500 meters on the other side of it. So we traveled 6 or 7 kilometers. I don't know how big the world is though. Also might have to turn down the walk speed a little bit because eventually it's going to lag and I'm going to walk out the end of the raft. The frame rate has fallen off a little bit, but we've gone quite a bit further. We've used about 8,000 planks of wood at this point. Okay, I've turned the walk speed down a little bit, maybe too much, but I've adjusted it because we can't keep up with the frame rate anymore. Yeah, this is a little better. It's a little bit faster than we just were, but it's still fairly consistent. Okay, we've used over 10,000 pieces of wood now. The frame rate is even lower. So we need to do another distance check to see exactly what's happening because I don't know how much further we're going to get. Not very quickly, at least. Every piece of wood I place at this point makes the game struggle incredibly. It's absolutely loving this. But on the bright side, I'm getting pretty good at building these things. It's a game that always has an issue with the way I do it. But that worked. First try, and we're 6,300 meters away. We were 4,000 last I checked, so we just traveled 2,000 meters. Which begs the question, how big is this Earth? The answer for now is simply bigger than that. Sometimes if you look at the edge of the screen, you can see stuff further away. I'm not seeing the big wooden erection out there, so it's a little ways to go. But that's fine. I'm just going to try and do a bit of a running start. That way I can kind of orient myself mostly straight and then have a nap. Might have to turn down the graphics quality a lot. You see this? This is why I can't have nice things. We went off course. Oh, the game does not like that one little bit. I think it's probably safe to say that we're at the point where if the game crashes, I don't know if it's going to load back in. I'm officially at the point where I can't make the raft build itself because the frame rate's so slow that I have trouble course correcting, so I need to be here constantly guiding it mostly straight. I am still managing to place at least 1 tile per second though, so at this rate, 60 tiles a minute. It's also just occurred to me that I haven't seen an island in a very long time, so that makes me think I'm kind of just building out into nowhere. But that's never stopped me before, and it's not going to stop me now. It's now been about another 2,500 planks placed, so we're going to do a distance check again. And this one's going to take a few minutes to get finished because the frame rate's pretty slow. Okay, so we're now 8,000 meters from where we started, so we've gone another 2,000 meters for 2,500 pieces of wood. I'm really hoping that 10,000 meters is the length of the world, so it shouldn't be much further. That's also going to be an extraordinarily painful 2,000 meters, but our course is deadly straight. And it's crazy to think I could run this fast all the way back and it would take me like an hour to get to the other side of this. And we're coming up to another 2,500 planks placed, and I didn't mean to drop that. The game is not loving what's happening, but we've got a pretty big raft on our hands. So let's, wow, very painstakingly do a distance check, because I can't help but notice I don't see any raft in the distance. Strangely, building on top of the raft is perfectly fine. It's only when I put stuff in the water that the game goes, nope. Really hope the antenna works at this point. All right, where are we? We are 9,930 meters away from where we started. In fact, we're a lot further than that because we turned our course that was from the island that we were way far away from to begin with. So we're nowhere near where we need to be because that would blink ahead of us suddenly. But so far, I've created a raft that's over 10 kilometers long, or 6 miles, which is really big, but I haven't yet circled the globe. But that kind of gave me the idea that I can just go no clip from here to see what's beyond the end of the raft now, because building is a little bit slow, and as you can see, the game isn't super thrilled about what I'm doing. I've lost my arms, or that's where I'm going to leave them for now. I'm going to try and orient myself very straight, and we're just going to turn no clip on and just go straight this way for a little ways to see if we find the rest of the raft somewhere out there. I've been going for a little while. I don't see any sign of a raft, or more importantly, any islands. So I'm pretty sure you can only get so far from your initial starting point before just nothing happens anymore. Pretty sure it's not actually possible to build a raft around the world, and someone in the comments is probably going to explain that to me as to how that works. I'm also really lost now. I've been heading in a straight line, but clearly there's no raft out here, and I couldn't possibly build this far if I tried. So I guess the only thing left to do is make a zip line from end to end. Over 10 kilometers worth. So if anyone needs me, I'm going to be running in this direction forever. So back at the other end of our raft, we're 544 meters from that island in a straight line now. So yeah, the raft is confirmed about 10,500 meters long. But there's just no way I'm carrying a rope all the way back to zipline back. I physically don't have enough time left in the day. But this has definitely spawned some other fun ideas that you'll see within a few days.